So hello, everyone. My name is Rami. I'm part of LebMetal.com. We are a website about music, more or less rock and metal, but all types, all kinds of music. And a website about music is also a website about musicians at the same time. We are starting a new series called The Talk. And today we're going to be talking with one of Lebanon's most talented musicians, Alan Azar, who has several solo albums, and he's been for long a gun for hire, touring with different bands, with different famous musicians. So first of all, I'd like to welcome Alan Azar to this first talk session. Hello, Alan.
Hello.
I'm happy to have you here, and I hope everything is good where you are now. We're doing this live online. You're in the USA, in LA, I assume?
Yep. First, thank you for the invite. It's very important to meet up again and talk about things.
It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while. I'm happy to have you here with me.
Yes, now I am in the United States. I've been here for 8 years now.
Mm-hmm.
So I left Lebanon in 2013 and I moved to Los Angeles. And here I am, established over here, living my life, doing what I have to do.
So you did this way before the new motivation for people to leave the country. So what was your motivation at the time? Why did you decide to go?
Yeah, it's the same thing actually. Like, we always had these issues in Lebanon that, the political problems, the government, war, all these things, led us to leave the country, not only me. I mean, everyone is leaving. And, but, I left in 2013 saying, oh, wow, Lebanon is horrible right now. The situation is bad. But the way I think about it now, I'll be like, oh my God, in 2013, Lebanon was great, compared of what's happening now over here. So I really feel bad for this whole situation. And it's sad to hear that we're all leaving. I mean, we're not happy leaving, but we have to, pursue our career, our lifestyle, our safety, our future, So it's a sad situation, but I'm grateful I moved to the US, and I'm happy over here. I try to visit as much as I can, visit Lebanon probably every year. Not this year though, but I'll try to visit as much as I can just to see my friends, my family. It's always nice.
Yeah, I assume this year is a bit difficult for everyone traveling and moving around with this situation. So let's stick with this topic then we started with. How was it like to transition to as a musician to USA, one of the biggest markets also?
Yeah, moving from a country to another country, whatever you do, not even a musician, even if you're a plumber or you're an electrician, it's always hard to start your career from scratch technically because of your connections and because of your financials and learning new rules, new laws in a new country. So it's always hard. It's very challenging. I will admit that my first year or second year, that was really hard, They were hard. But when you plan to do something and that you move to this country for it, you keep on fighting hard for it till you achieve what you dream of. But yeah, I had a lot of struggles here and there. I mean, it's normal for everyone, I guess. And for the music industry, I mean, it is a big market over here. I'm not the only guitar player in the world, There's a lot of guitar players, a lot of musicians. But to get into the business, you have to be yourself. You have to be your own musician, your own unique musician, so people see you and recognize you. If you're gonna keep copying other people, no one will care because there's millions of great musicians and great guitar players out there. You can't be in the competition anymore, especially with the new generation, because we learned it the hard way. Now this new generation, they have everything, they have internet.
The access to learn is much easier, right? A lot of tutorial, online, digital lessons, and It's easier to
everything,
learn.
man. Yeah, like if I went to Steve Vai concert when I first came here in 2013. You know, I was 30 years old, and I was like, wow, man, Steve Vai, finally I can see this guy. You know, my one of my idols, and I saw 5 years old kids over there, 6 years old, watching Steve Vai. So when I was 5 years old, I didn't know who Steve Vai is. I didn't know
Yeah.
what
So
rock music is. You know,
so they have a 25 years advantage, you would say.
that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, yeah, they have it before. This music is not banned like it used to be in Lebanon back then when I was growing up. You know, rock music was kind of
Yeah.
like this satanic music or whatever. You know, it's
So
they had the lack of education about what music's all about.
so the cultural perspective is different. The appreciation of the genre is a bit different there, right? It's where it
That's
actually
correct.
blossomed in the US. The hard rock music.
It's part of their culture.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in Lebanon we have culture. You know, the music, the Lebanese music that we hear every day. So kids over here every day they hear rock and metal music. It's part of their culture.
I see.
So and now, especially now, they're racing with the internet technology and YouTube and all these lessons. I mean, I remember I used to learn guitar by getting a VHS tape, a copy from a copy from a copy, you know, just so I can just play it and see what these guys are doing. And you know, like I couldn't
Yeah.
understand the language. I couldn't understand what the hell they're doing.
And it was great that it wasn't mono sound. It was 2.0 stereo, right? In some cases, or not even.
Maximum, and it's a VHS TV audio,
Yeah.
you know, like.
So now you
nothing
watch it with a
fancy.
7.1 surround. You hear every instrument, every small detail.
Every
And back,
single thing, and you have access to buy instruments over here. You have access to buy the guitar you want, the amp you want. You
Mhm.
know, I remember when I first started, I was asking my dad. You know, he's my mentor in music. I was asking him, "What is this sound?" I was listening to Nirvana. I was like probably 15 years old or 14, and I told him, "What is this guitar sound? I don't know. I don't understand it." And even my dad, you know, he's from older generation, so he was telling me this is a fuzz pedal, you know,
Mhm.
that this pedal that Jimi Hendrix used
The
to use.
wah fuzz,
you
yeah.
know? You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, okay. So and then he's like, you know what? Let's go. I have a friend of mine. He's a guitar player. He have this pedal, so you can go and try it. So I was so excited. We went to his house. We plugged it in. I was so excited. I was waiting for myself to hit, you know, to play like Nirvana, kind of grungy tone, and it sounded like shit. Sorry, but not even close to what I was imagining. So I was like, "What the hell's going on? What
Yeah.
is it? I want to learn. I want to know what it is." And nobody knows. You know, like I'm 15 years old, 14 years old, trying to understand it.
But
Um,
still, you chose it as an instrument. Like, although it didn't sound that as good as you expected at the time, like, why did you still go with it?
Man, you know, I picked up the guitar. You know, my dad is a musician. He always used to play music around the house with many instruments and stuff. So he had a guitar,
Mm-hmm.
and one day actually I was at my uncle's house. He's also a guitar player. He liked the Beatles a lot. He used to play for me some Beatles songs and stuff. And then he played one song for Bananarama, this band called Bananarama, a song called Venus. So it's a simple song, you know, it has two chords, it's E minor and A major. So he started playing the song and I look at the fretboard and I saw that, oh, okay, it's kind of like an easy move, you know? So I can show you like it's that's the guitar, right? So it was on
Yeah.
E and A. I don't know if you can see
Two
this.
chords.
E
Yeah.
minor, A major, and it goes like this. Just a simple two
The
chords.
60s vibe. This is the
Yeah,
60s vibe, right?
exactly. It's a 60s vibe. So I was like, hold on, let me try. Maybe it works, you know? So I picked up these two chords and I did it. And I was like, hold on a second. If I can do this, I mean, I can do other things too. You know, this is when the feelings come to you like, that's beautiful. You can actually do this, you know? And this is how it started, you know, on an acoustic guitar, playing some little chords.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started, you know, listening to radio music, and then I got into Nirvana, and then I was like, okay, that's an electric guitar, so I need an electric guitar. And this is when I start to chase the sound that I dream of, you know, sound big and fat and distorted.
So you started like before rock was a thing, maybe like, or the modern rock. So you started with like the 60s thing, then a bit of Nirvana 90s, and
Yeah.
then you moved forward, because I know like later you were playing more progressive rock music. So how did you like transition between one
Yes.
style to the other?
So I started with Nirvana and, you know, this grunge and alternative. And then I went to a friend of mine, his name is Bernard, and he played some Megadeth for me. Megadeth. And I was like, hold on, what kind of music is that? You know, he told me this is metal music, and I fell in love with Megadeth. And I was like, okay, now I want to play this sound. I want this sound to play on the guitar. And this is how I got into metal music. And you know, when you learn Megadeth, you learn Metallica, you learn all Iron Maiden, all these bands, you know. And then yeah, and then I started a band called Aliens. I don't know
So
if you remember
that
this
was
band.
your first band. That was like when you first went on stage, you weren't on stage as Aliens?
Aliens was my main first band, first appearance on stage, man. With
Which year
Aliens.
was that?
I would say 1999.
Okay, so obviously one of the early bands in Lebanon.
Yep,
Not
yep.
the oldest band, but one of the very early ones. And
One of
you
the
will
early
cover.
modern one. That means we
Mhm.
switched from, you know, older bands they were playing like, you know, Eagles and Beatles and this kind of genre. And then there was like civil war in Lebanon. Nobody played anything, you know,
Yeah.
for like 10 years or 15 years during the civil war. And then we were the next generation to play music, and we started with Nirvana,
hmm
Metallica, Megadeth, those kind of things. So Alien started as a cover band. We were covering all the metal genre and some punk rocks, you know, like Green Day and those kind of things.
And why Aliens?
My dad named the band Aliens. I don't know why.
Still sounds like a cool name anyway. So
It's good. It's Aliens with the
yeah,
Z,
yeah, yeah.
not with an S.
So
Yeah, but it's funny because Aliens, you know, with transitions from, you know, punk rock band to metal band to progressive rock band, and then turn out to be, you know, an original band. We start writing our own songs and play progressive music. I think we were one of the first bands in Lebanon that played progressive metal, I guess. You know, when we learned about Dream Theater and Symphoniacs and all these progressive bands, you know,
so Dream Theater was becoming bigger in those years, like 99, 2001. That was like when they had the Scenes from a Memory album.
even before,
Right?
I think 2002 or 3, I heard about Dream Theater and I was blown away by the music. And, you know, we didn't know this music exists, you know?
Yeah, so Petrucci
So,
became one of the new idols, you would say, or one of the like
yeah.
goals. This guy, I want to
Yeah,
play like this guy.
yeah, you know, I got more motivated and I learned more music, more than, you know, technical stuff on guitar and more than, you know, people play
Composition.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah, they play it to enjoy it. I was like, okay, I don't want to play only to enjoy. I want to know what I'm doing on the instrument, you know? I want to be a musician slash guitar player, not only guitar player.
Yeah.
And that's always been my intention, you know, in music. I want to be, I always wanted to be this great musician. And, you know, I've been
So
working on
how
it.
did you work for that? How did you like work to that goal?
I bought some books just to learn some theory, music theory. So I'm self-taught. So I just learned it by myself, figured it out, watch videos, and then you know we went to this DVD um, era when computers started. So I started to buy some DVDs and learn about music. And then I went to Lebanon. I was in university. I studied 1 year musicology, just to learn the theory and how to write notes and the music charts. It didn't go too well because I was so bored. I thought it's too boring for me. I'm too metal for this, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kept teaching myself theory, and I got involved in teaching. I was teaching guitar for a lot of students, and you know, when you become a teacher, you want to teach the right things. So this pushed me also to learn more theory.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, when I got with Aliens with the band and we start to compose, this is when I was like, okay, I need to learn more how to be a composer and arranger, and learn more about the guitar tones, drum tones, keyboard, whatever, everything, arrangement. So it's kind of like I just learned it by time. Every project I do was like a lesson
When
to
it
learn.
comes to writing music, the guitar is your main instrument, right? So you write the notes through playing them on the guitar, or you like try other instruments. How do you
Yeah,
work?
usually I'll be sitting with my acoustic guitar and I just play some chords. And sometimes, you'll be playing whatever, and then all of a sudden you just hit something that sounds good to your ear. And you'd be like, okay, hold on a second. If I love these chords, they make me feel something.
Mm-hmm.
So I play these chords, and then I'll record these chords, and I'll try to come up with a melody on top of these chords.
Yeah.
And usually the way I come up with melodies is I sing it first, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I sing it. Sometimes I record the melody, singing it on the phone. And then, I grab the guitar and I try to play this melody that I'm singing in my head. I try to play it. And this is how I put my melodies with my chords together. And this is like, it'll be, okay, that's the beginning of a song, or this could be a chorus for a song. I put it sometimes, on the side. I'll be like, okay, that's a good chorus. I'm gonna keep it on the side, and one day I'm gonna use it, and it
You'll
works.
find the right place for it, right?
Yeah, and but next month I'll be working on a song, and I'll reach to a place. I'll be like, hold on, I have a melody for this place. Like I'll just listen back to my melody and just put it in. And
So you continuously build a large library of melodies, and sometimes they find a home in a track, and sometimes they just remain in the library, right?
Exactly. This is how it's been forever with me.
And how big is that library now? Like, is it getting too big to handle?
Too big, man, too big. I have a lot of melodies, and it's funny. I have them on folders. I name, like, I'd say this melody is emotional melody. That's the name of it.
Okay.
Another melody is like a spacey melody. I name it. It's
How much angry memory do you have? How much angry melody do you have? For example, after August 4, do you have some angry melodies?
You know what? I don't. I'm not an angry person. I get sad for things that happens. Makes me down. I don't get angry. I don't get aggressive. I don't think I have aggressive music.
Mm-hmm.
But I have very emotional music. That's for sure. So let's say I'm writing a metal song, right? It'll be like heavy rhythm, heavy drums, heavy everything, but the melody is just kind of like a soft melody, an emotional melody. I don't go too crazy.
Yeah.
But a lot of people write about what's happening in the world. People are dying. There's wars. There's political problems. There's people, immigrants, fleeing everywhere. It is a sad word sometimes, but I try not to put myself in this direction. I'm a person who like to trip on things. I study a lot of things about space. Astronomy, cosmology.
Yeah, so
Like
I was going there next, right? But before we jump to your second album, let's just talk a bit about your first one. So after Aliens, you were mostly first. You started with Aliens, and you didn't release any official like singles or album with Aliens, right?
It was very challenging. We released a couple of singles, yes, we did
Yeah.
with Aliens, and then we were planning to release a full album, and sadly, it didn't happen because of it was very challenging time for the band to get together and record. The recording process was very hard, even though we recorded the album, but we didn't finish it and we didn't release it. But I kind of finished like 4 songs maybe, and I add them on my first album. Actually, let me show you, which is this album, Defective Harmony.
Yeah.
This is my first album I released in 2008. So I have 2 songs over here from the band Aliens. I just add them at the end of the album. um, just for, you know, for the love of it. Yeah, you can hear those songs. They're everywhere. Exactly.
Yeah, so that was your first album, right? And
Yeah.
you have those 4 tracks from Aliens, but that means there are still other tracks never to be released, right?
Correct. Correct.
They could come in the next album still? Maybe a bonus track?
You know what? I always think about it. You know, it's been more than 10 years, and like every now and then I would just go on my old folders on the computer and I find these tracks and I'll be like, man, these tracks are good. You know, like they're good, and I know that I can improve, you know, make them sound better. Because, you know, my composition skills got more advanced, but there were passion in it, you know. When there's passion in music, it will stay awesome forever. So there was a lot of passion in it, and I love those songs. Yeah, maybe one day I'll be, you know, recording some old Aliens songs and release them. I should do this actually.
So what about the copyrights? Like, who owns the rights for those tracks? Do you own all the rights for them? Because I'm gonna segue into a second subject connected to this.
I do. All these songs are copyrighted. I'm signed by BMI, and I copyright all the songs.
Yeah, but I mean the tracks you made with Aliens, like the people who work with you on making those tracks with Aliens, like, are they part of those tracks, or you consider those belonging to you?
Well, there is. I mean, I was the main composer with Aliens. Of course, I worked with the bass player Robert Aramone. Sammy Gabriel was the singer. Alan Azar, my brother, was the keyboard player. So yes, they put their inputs in there, and I mean, I don't mind giving them their rights legally. If they're signed with BMI or they have the number with BMI, I can give them shares. But you know, when you're not into this level of making a lot of money from this music, I mean, if they approach me and we talk about this subject, I can explain to them exactly what's happening, and we can go through legal stuff. I mean, I don't mind it. But mainly, I was the composer of all these songs. I mean, they put their input. That's for sure. It was a band project, but yeah, we didn't go through legal stuff with the guys.
So if you're not making like tons of money out of it, and you're not using it to promote your music as your main track, for example, it should be something that you can just solve with the band or talk to the other people, and it should be fine, right?
If they approach me one day with any subject, I'm happy to talk about it and do it the legal way.
So have you heard what happened with Chimera, for example?
No.
You didn't hear their new track, their new single?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Did you like it to begin with?
I love it, actually. I was happy to see that metal music is become famous in Lebanon, because, you know, the funny story is that the person who sent me the link, he's not a metalhead, he's not a rock and roll dude, he's just an old-fashioned guy that listened to what's her name? What's the name? The singer?
Majid Al-Rumi, you mean?
Majid Al-Rumi. Yeah. He has this kind of background, and he sent me this link, and I was like, oh, okay, that's nice. And I asked him, do you like it? He's like, yeah, it's good. So this is when I was happy that, okay, so now people, they're kind of getting the metal music, you know, in Lebanon, they're kind of appreciating it more.
But although the lyrics are very known, and the lyrics have nothing to do with Satan, we just saw comments, people saying this is satanic, this guy's bringing demons into the track. So what can we still try to say to those people who say that?
Well, this is what I was just saying. We've been living in Lebanon all our lives, and people talking about those things, you know, they think metal music equals Satan music. I mean, what do you want me to say? I mean, this is lack of education. This is the main problem in the Lebanese community, you know, like the people that they're not well educated to know what metal music is all about.
So we have to keep trying to inform the people. What is this about?
I mean, you know, it's hard. It's hard. I lived, you know, all my childhood and in Lebanon, and it's hard to control people because they born and they live this way. You know, it's becoming more like a tradition to them. If they hear something like this, I mean, it's not good for the society. This is something bad. They're not willing to learn more about the universe and about the world, what's happening. So I don't know. I just say just ignore. We just need to ignore and not give them attention, I guess.
But even if you are an open-minded person and cultured person, and I assume at some point or to some extent I am one, but the first time I listened to a track with growls, for example, or some very loud vocals, I was a bit shocked. I didn't really like it at the first listen, but now it's like one of my favorite genres. And people not to judge quick and be a bit patient with something, or just ignore it if they don't like it. Maybe that's the best way to go with it, right?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know how to. I don't know what to say, man. I've been in it before. Even your look make a difference to them. You know, if they see you have long hair and you have tattoos and you have piercing, automatically you go like as a not appropriate person, and you follow, Satan or whatever. I think it's hard. It's gonna take time for this new generation that's coming now. I think they're gonna change it because the older generation, I think it's hard to them right now.
So maybe the internet will help a bit more now.
Maybe because the older generation, they just they're stuck to their traditions, and it's hard to change their mind. This is how I see it.
So, did you hear about what happened with the copyright issue with the Chimera? Did you follow up that story? So what we've learned, without all the details, and I cannot confirm any of this in like perfect accuracy, that the lawyer from her management is suing Chimera, and they asked them to take down the track from YouTube, which eventually Chimera obliged. So the track by Chimera is no longer officially uploaded to YouTube because of a copyright claim. And at the same time, the lawyer described the track that it is satanic, it's showing dark imagery, and it has destroyed the track in the ugliest way possible.
And the lawyer said that?
Yeah, that was like an official statement that it has distorted the track. It had made dark images in it. And, the common description we hear. So, although it had a very positive impact, a lot of people got a bit introduced to rock through it, and metal, and a bit of growl and heavier metal. It also made kind of the opposite shock, with people posting like Satanism and yes, the lawyer is right, and yes, he should take it down tomorrow. So I'm just talking about it just to see, as a musician, like if you did the same work and you talked to the original artist and you transitioned, you changed his music to a new form.
First thing, if they need to release it on YouTube by saying, they need to add to the title that it's a covered song for Majida Rumi. They need to put her name in the title. They need to mention that it's a cover song. It's not their original song.
Yeah.
If they mention this and the credits, if they put Majida Rumi cover song, she's the owner of the song, then YouTube has no right to take it down because it's a cover song. So people, they can do cover, but they can't say this is my song,
Okay.
And they need to mention it on YouTube, especially because now the YouTube algorithm system is that if you get a lot of likes and views on this track, the owner of the music will get credit. That means Majida Rumi will get the credit for it financially. So all the money they're making on this song, they're gonna go to Majida Rumi, not for them. If they do it legally this way, nobody can take down their track. They need to mention that it's a cover song. They can't say this is my song or whatever. So this is from legal issue. Now, lawyer saying that they destroyed the song, he has nothing to do with this. I don't think you have the right to say they destroyed. I can do a Nancy Ajram song right now and make it sound, like deathcore or whatever.
So is it maybe a plan for you to cover Nancy Ajram because you have a history with her? You can tell us a bit about the history.
No, man. It's because I played with this girl. I know her songs, but But what I'm trying to say is you have freedom to do whatever you want online.
Yeah,
They can take you down unless you're benefiting from a song from another artist, like financially benefiting out of it. So
yeah,
if they're making money out of this song, it's
yeah.
illegal. If they put credits for her to make money, she can make money out of their video. So she should be smart and let this video go. But a lawyer is gonna take it down for saying that they trashed the song. He doesn't have the right. I don't think he can win the case.
So it's a bit of controversy. So it's not too clear. But what I definitely know is that Chimera mentioned that this is a cover, and they written all the detail. Of course, they gave credit. They had the rights from her distributor on YouTube. So they had all that covered up or taken care of. But I think there was kind of a controversy also with the lyrics, because if she owns the track, the lyrics also are owned by a different, by the poet who wrote the lyrics at some point. So it's a complicated issue, I would say. But the
They need to
result of
get
it
all
is,
these. They need to get all this information and give them credit for it. For the writer, for the lyric person.
they did in the video. So, but I assume like something they couldn't defend it enough to keep it on YouTube. So officially they have taken it down. But you know, there's a lot of fans on YouTube. A lot of people love the track, so they're actually re-uploading it on YouTube. And there are people now dedicating their time to keeping this video on. So every time it's taken down, they go somewhere else and upload it again. So
You know, that's a really sad story. I didn't know that. I thought
yeah,
it's still there and it's kicking.
at least this is the situation now. So let's hope it changes to an agreement at the end, and they can again use it as an official, you know, cover track, and they can use the rights properly. Maybe now they are in the negotiation phase. Maybe they will be again on good terms with the original artist.
Hopefully.
Talking about that, so we mentioned a bit briefly Nancy Ajram, and she did release a track recently about the revolution. So Majida's track was covered because again it's the revolution, Thawra. And Nancy just recently released a track about Beirut, you know, sad about the Beirut explosion. It's a really emotional one. And it's missing a lot of guitar melodies that I think I know who's the perfect person to do that. Do you know who could do a nice cover of that?
No. You know, I've been away from the Lebanese music scene, to be honest. I kind of lost connection with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm always willing to work with whoever contact me, you know. But I'm not pushing myself to work in the Lebanese and music industry anymore. So whatever comes, we'll take.
Have you done any covers, like even in the US, like any tracks you really like? Did you ever release any covers?
No, not really. I was always planning to, but I don't like to play cover songs. It's just me. I mean, I released, you know, I played a couple of solos for solos that I enjoy and I like to play. I did a funny video. People liked it. I covered the solo of Hotel California. I think
I wanted to ask you about that. So first, when you got to the US and you were carrying a guitar on your back, so by default, every time you say, "Hey, I'm a musician," or they ask you, "What is that?" you say, "That's a guitar." So the common question is always, "Can you play Hotel California?" Especially for LA, like that's the track for LA.
Yes, you know what's funny, because you know I always heard this in Lebanon. You know, the second I hold the guitar in Lebanon, everybody asked me if I can play the song, and I used to laugh about it. And to be honest, I learned this song a long time ago. My dad taught me this song, so I know it. But it's, you know, it's a funny joke. But when I came to LA, believe it or not, there's a lot of people, they still ask you this question. And I was like, okay, what's wrong with this song, man? Let me just cover it for once and that's it. You know?
Yeah, it seems like it's one of the most, it is one of the most famous, you know, rock songs of all time, with the most famous solo, I assume, like a relatively long guitar solo.
Amazing solo. Like till now, you know, like the more advanced you get, the more you appreciate it more and more. Like it's an amazing solo.
But we are not still sure if this is something with Satan, because they go, they gather, they drink something. It's, some people say it's the blood, and so even that track is accused of Satanism.
You can check out anytime you like.
But you can never leave. Exactly.
It is a satanic song, but this is why I like it.
But like a lot of people love it, you know. Hotel California, I like that.
Yeah, they dance to it, you know, as if it's a love song.
But it doesn't have any dark images.
It's a horrible song. It's like you went to this hotel somewhere and you got stuck and you can never leave.
Yeah.
And there's some, you know, ghosts and stuff.
Some stabbing.
Yeah. crazy stuff happened.
But it doesn't have any growling, so it's okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's a peaceful song. If you play it in Lebanon, people will think you're a religious, nice guy.
Well, they play it at nightclubs. They play it at some bars, at some pubs. You know, they play it almost everywhere. That track. You know, in Lebanon, like the commitment to copyrights is not that much upheld. When you're in a bar, in a pub, they kind of play almost everything. But it is fine. Like everyone listens to it. Although that is a more satanic track when it comes to the lyrics, right?
Correct, correct. And you
But
know,
no,
you remind me of a story. You know the band the KORDZ.
Yeah. Tell us a bit more about them. Yeah.
Yeah, before I joined the band the KORDZ, you know, when I think in year 2005, 2006, you know, the one time they were playing the show, and the police showed up to their show, and they're saying, "Okay, you guys need to stop. This is satanic music you guys are playing." So I remember my friend Mo, the singer, he went and he told the police officer, "No, we don't play satanic songs. We play just regular radio songs." And the guy is like what? And he told him Hotel California. He's like, "Oh, okay. So if you play Hotel California, you're fine. You're good to go." You know, and he let them go.
See, I knew it. I knew it. That one always is okay.
So it's, man, I don't know what it is, man. It's magic, I guess.
There's a rock band that was growing a bit, like getting more and more common mainstream band. I don't know if you know the band. It's called Ghost. They play kind of a 70s vibe music and doesn't sound that aggressive lyrics wise. They're a really nice band. But you know, I don't know if you've ever seen their videos. Their videos is like a Satan character, and their singer is like the anti-pope guy, and they are on the radio all the time. And you know, so
I saw this band live 2 times actually.
Yeah.
And yeah, the singer came up like a pope, and I start laughing because it's hilarious. Yeah, they sound like Black Sabbath, you know, like I like their style actually, like old metal, kind of like Ozzy, this kind of thing. But now they kind of change a little bit. They're more electronics, I guess. I don't know. I heard the last track. I was like, why they did this? But whatever.
Yeah. They're trying to attract even more mainstream, you know, listeners, or the pop, maybe more of the pop.
This is when labels get involved, and they'll be like, okay, guys, you need to do this and that. You need to make money.
Yeah. So maybe that's a good question. If you ever like reach a point where you are approached by a label, and they want you to maybe infuse some of electronic music and change the style you play, but they can produce for you a big album and a hit, a summer hit or whatever. Would you go for that from a business perspective?
Yes. Yes, I'll do, because personally, I enjoy every music. I'm not going to play something that I can approach electronic music, but if I can keep my signature as Alan Azar, yes, I'll do electronic, I'll do pop, I'll do whatever, but I need to feel the music and leave my signature in there as a composer or guitar player. But for me personally to try to be like someone else, I think it's hard. I mean, they can pick better player than me to be, you know, to cover this kind of music that they want or this kind of style that they want. It's confusing, you know. If you heard my music, I always try to be myself. I never played a track because I wanted to sound like this guy, or I want to make money out of this music. This is if you want to leave it to me, you know. But if I get a deal with the label, they want this specific music, I mean, I'll do it for them, unless it's, I still have my touch and my feel and my composition under my name.
So I actually see a lot of you in your albums, especially now we're going to talk a bit about your second album. So when you have a title like The Cosmologist, you're kind of saying, me, I am that cosmologist, and I'm telling you my story, or I'm taking you with the journey. I'm taking you with me through that journey, right?
Correct. It's this album is very it's very artistic. You know, I was really focusing on art, and this is like what I was just saying. I'm composing music that I like and write about subjects that I like too. You know, because when I studied cosmology, I didn't study it technically. I was just, reading a lot about it and learning a lot about it. And it gave me a lot of motivation to write music. And this is how I wrote this album. Just every song has a meaning um, for the title. So when you read the title, it makes sense. For every composition I've done. It gives you it opens doors for you. It gives you a lot of ways to compose music. It's not limited at all. Technically, it's an artistic music album, whatever I said, movie. So yeah, the cosmologist. It's me. I become a cosmologist. So
Hmm.
why not? Why not being creative and write beautiful music regarding that?
And it was obvious for you this will be your theme for the next album. Like when you decided to do this album, you automatically had this theme in your mind, right?
Correct. Correct. So the first album I did, Defective Harmony, was very crazy. The way I wrote the songs, it was I had no direction,
Hmm.
so I just picked up tracks from here and there, and I put them all together. And this is why I named it Defective Harmony, because it doesn't match as a full album. There's no story behind it.
Yeah.
Um, the cosmologist was more as a theme. I decided, okay, I want to talk about space, about cosmology the whole time. I just want to compose music about that. I want to make 10 tracks
Yeah.
only for space and cosmology. So it was kind of like a planned album, in terms of writing and production.
Okay. So that had like you had a much more clear plan before you did anything, and you can build the entire album to
Correct.
serve that, right? So it's like,
Correct.
from my perspective, it's still it's still my favorite album you produced.
Awesome.
And for me, it feels like a well-built, well-connected album with a very nice start. It's just going into space. And when you're up there, you just go, we go with the trip. I just follow you along the album. It's for me,
Correct.
one of my
Correct.
favorite albums, a really nice album.
Thank you.
But that was 2010, 11?
11, I guess. Yeah, I agree.
2011, right?
Mhm.
So since 2011, at the time you released that album, it was self-produced, right?
Correct.
So you also did all the work, the recording, the mixing. Where did you do the mastering?
Mixing, my brother Roland, he did the mixing for this album, and he did a great, great job.
Definitely,
Um,
I agree.
yeah, I
Yeah.
recorded this kind of like a home studio,
Hmm.
and he did the mixing, and then I mastered it here in the US. Um yeah, the mastering was a big part of the production as well. So yeah,
I
usually
wanted.
it's a home studio recording,
Okay.
nothing
I want.
fancy.
Yeah, but it sounds quite good. I mean, the quality for me sounds quite good for a self-produced album, home recorded, if you say.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, how did you approach the percussion or the beats as a guitar melody focused musician? Do
Mhm.
you get involved in the beats or in the tempos and the
Yes, I
drums?
do. I do. I do. This is why I said that when I get involved in music theory and music
Yeah,
composition and arrangement, this is something I really like to do. Actually, I love all instruments and I like to put them all together. And when I compose a song or I compose a melody and a guitar part, I hear it full. Actually, I don't hear only the guitars. I hear the drums. I hear the bass. I hear
yeah.
keyboards. Everything. And also, I want to mention that in the Cosmologist, my other brother Julian, he did the keyboards. He recorded all the keyboards. He's a genius musician, and he helped me a lot with that.
So you have a family of musicians, right? You said your father, your uncle, your brother, and your other brother. You're all into
Yes, I do.
music.
I'm lucky.
Okay,
I'm
yeah, but
lucky.
this kind of environment you grew up in, like, will immerse you into music, right?
Yeah, that's it. Music. That's
Yeah.
what we do. We don't have anything else, other than PlayStation, also sometimes. but
Well,
but
if the game has nice music, I assume.
I mean, yeah, I mean, we get inspired by the music from games, Till now,
Yeah.
my brother he sent me, soundtracks from games, so we're really involved in orchestrations and
Uh-huh.
crazy sounds, and we're more into instrumental music than music with vocals, because none of
Yeah.
us sing, so we're more involved in instrumental music. My brother Julian, great keyboard player, he's really into classical and symphony music and soundtracks. He listened to a lot of Disney music, and you know, so he put this music in my album, and it just turned out to sound like something super cool, different.
Yeah, but speaking about the singers, you had some featured singers on your albums, and
Yes.
these tracks are also as memorable as the full, instrumental ones. You've never like planned to have a full all singer album, like with like different singers on every track, like a complete story with the lyrics?
Well, I do. I like it. I try to do it. Usually I'll be playing uh, as if I'm singing on the guitar. I play melodies, and especially now with the band, when I play melodies, I always tell the guys that, okay, this is the track, this is the verse, this is the chorus, this is the pre-chorus, and this is the ending. So the language is like
Yeah.
as if it's a song, like I'm explaining what a song is all about. So yeah, I do sing on my instrument. This is how I say, but as vocals, I would love to work with the singer. I like vocals. It's not something I don't like. I really enjoy it actually, but I didn't have a chance to work on a full album with the full singer because after the band Aliens, when we did Aliens, I kind of stuck by myself at home, playing guitar. So I was like, okay, if I can do this by myself, I don't need the guys. I don't need to call the singer and call the bass player. So I think this led me to, go more instrumental.
Yeah.
But I'm not this instrumentalist that just, shred the guitar on a backing track or just music, like background music. I work on it as a structure, as if it's a song. So yes, in the Cosmologist, actually, I have two guest singers. I have the song Cosmologist is sang by my friend Brennan McCain from Atlanta, Georgia. He's a great singer. I recorded an album with this guy, and he, did the favor back to me and record one of the songs. And also on the song A Glimpse of Reality, I had Sammy Gabriel,
From
the
Aliens.
main singer of the Aliens, to sing this little part. It's a very interesting part. It really suits his voice, and he put his voice in there, and it was fun.
And so you formed the band when you were in Lebanon. You had like the guys who were always with you. You were playing live. When you had your release for the album Cosmologist, you went on stage. We actually had a kind of an event together, right? Like you were playing in kind of playing the album in the LebMetal event, right? That was 2011, same year, I assume.
Correct.
How was the experience, like playing live your music? How does that feel relative to like when you're performing with bands and other people?
Playing live is like my favorite thing ever. I still call myself, I'm a performer. I'm a live band guy. I don't like to sit in the studio and record or just jam in front of a camera or just record songs and throw them left and right. I love performing live. This is my passion, especially when you play your own songs.
Okay.
It's a different feeling, different feeling. It's like you can't play better than that because it's yours. This is what you came up with, and especially when you hear it on a loud PA system, and especially when you see the crowd reacting to it. This is very important. And I remember a lot of people used to enjoy my music, and this means a lot to me. It's a different feeling.
So you don't get a bit more stressed that you're playing your own music, or a bit more stressed like on the stage? It's just the natural thing for you?
The stress will be for the first 3-4 seconds.
Okay.
Like before we start, this is when the stress is. And when we kick in, it will take me 3-4 seconds. I'll be like stressed. Okay, the guitar is good. Everything is running. This is when I enjoy it. I start enjoying the music. I'll be like, I'll zone out, I'm not there anymore. I'm just playing what I like to do, and I'm feeling it, from the heart. It's very nice. Great feeling.
So 2 years later, you decided to leave, and you had like the guys playing with you live, and they know your music, and you work together on many things. So you got to LA, and you started to get to know new people, different kind of, music scene, different musicians, and you wanted to work on your third album. So
Correct.
did you find the people before you were thinking about the album, or you had the album in mind and you were looking for people to be on it?
Well, I think in early 2017, first this period from 2013 to 15, I was writing music. I wrote most of these tracks that you have in the album right now. And 2017, this is when I started the band. I found the band members, and they were really interested to play in this project. And so we start learning a couple of songs to do a couple of shows. And this is when it all started. You know, we played a couple of shows here and there in Los Angeles, and people loved the music, and the band got really excited about the songs and the vibe of this music. And we decided to record an official album, full band recording, you know, like full acoustic drums, acoustic bass, whatever. Everything has to be recorded in a studio. And this is when I start to work on Wonders, the album Wonders. It was this album has a different perspective, because the band members, they were really involved and part of the arrangement, and they put their inputs in there, and we made it sound great. I guess it was different experience than the Cosmologist, because the Cosmologist, I was just sitting at home doing it by myself. But this album, we were like going to a rehearsal space and practicing with the guys, playing the songs over and over and over. And we even played those songs live before recording it. So it make a big difference.
I heard the change in the drum style. I heard the change in the bass line. So I felt that you have a new crew and they have their input on it. You can hear that in the music when I compare it to the album before. I feel there's a personal input. There are some drum solos. There's a bass solo. It sounds like a lot of input from a quite tight band.
Correct.
It's quite a nice album.
That's correct. Like I said, we played these songs live before, so we have the energy, and we have the songs. They kind of melted in our brain. We know what it is right now, you know, and drumming and bass guitar and everything. So when we went to a studio, I mean, I remember we recorded the drums in 2 days, and it's not like we were not experimenting. We know what it is. We just, you know, doing the takes.
Yeah.
Yeah, big difference when you work with the amazing drummer, Kelly McGovern, who's a great drummer. And Leon K on bass gave us also, you know, different harmonies in there. It was really interesting.
So this album is Wonders, Mysteries. I see a lot of feelings there, and Wonders and Mysteries. And then we have our guide again. But this time our guide is the Archaeologist, and he's taking us for a tour through those mysteries and wonders, right?
Correct.
And again, it's you, right? You're the Archaeologist here.
I am the Archaeologist.
So why the Archaeologist now?
Well, after I finished, you know, studying about space and the cosmology, I dug deep into archaeology. You know, I got really interested to learn about archaeology, because at some point I felt that archaeology is linked to space and the universe, because there's a lot of mysteries that happened before on planet Earth that we didn't solve yet. You know, it's a mystery. And if you think about it and you see the links between space and archaeology, you'll see that there's something was happening with space before. Just like the pyramids, you know?
Exactly, the positioning of the pyramids and following the stars orientation, all that, right?
Exactly. And you have pyramids in Africa, and you have pyramids in South
Mexico,
America,
I think, also. Yeah,
they all match on the same line, and they all point to different direction. So yes, it is a mystery, and it's really linked to space and the universe. So it's really interesting. So I start, you know, studying and dig deep in archaeology, and it's really interesting, you know. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna write songs about that.
Yeah.
And Wonders is one of the songs I composed a long time ago. It's track number 4, I guess. Yeah, Wonders. It's a track I composed a long time ago when I was in Lebanon. I used to perform this song.
Okay.
And I added this song in the album, and I named the album after it. Technically, it's Wonders, and then Mysteries and the Archaeologist, which is when there's mysteries and archaeologists, it's Wonders. So
Okay. So
It
you
counts.
would call the album Wonders, and the rest is like the section or the
It's like the
description.
subtitle. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I know this might sound like a strange question. So going to LA, I know there's not a lot of history in LA, right? There's no archaeology work in LA, right?
Not at
So
all.
is it also connected to missing Lebanon, like missing the old cities in Lebanon, the
Yeah.
history of Lebanon?
It's funny because when I started to learn about archaeology, I went and I learned about the city of Baalbek.
Yeah,
And I was like, okay, I used to live there. I never seen this city, but it's a really really interesting place to learn
yeah.
about. They have like the biggest stone in the universe, the biggest piece of
Al-Hibla,
stone. What's the name of it?
Al-Hibla, the pregnant, it's called, I think. Yeah, it's
Oh, okay.
1,000
Okay.
tons, I guess.
It's interesting that
Yeah,
nobody talks about those things in Lebanon, and it's
yeah,
like I was reading about oldest and biggest things, objects in the world, and they
yeah,
mentioned Albak. They have the biggest stone in the world, and I
yeah.
was like, okay, hold on a second. So yeah, I used to live in one of those places. I don't anymore. And
So,
what's funny is I used to visit a lot. I used to go to Egypt a lot before,
yeah,
and I've seen the pyramids, but I never been inside a pyramid. And this is like now it becomes one of my
goes.
dreams, just to
Yeah.
go in. Just want to go in.
So that's like on your bucket list now, going to
Yes.
Egypt, going to Baalbek also.
Mhm.
So it's kind of strange because I'm not in Lebanon also, I'm in Germany. And the moment, like when I moved to Germany also, I started like learning more about Lebanon. Like where was I living? So when you're living there, you're not that curious about the place, it seems.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened to me.
Yeah, so that kind of explains like the transition to the mysteries, right? And the
The mystery. Yeah, man. We live in a mystery world technically, and our planet is really old.
yeah,
There's a lot of things happened before humanity, I guess.
yeah, definitely. So and we don't know much, right? And like a week ago, they discovered like a new burial location in Egypt, and they found
I heard
250 tombs or something, and like every
last week.
week there's something new
Last
to
week.
discover.
So yeah, there's a lot of mysteries and a lot of things to still to explore and learn about.
Yeah. So we know about the future as much as we know about the past. We have blinks and
Knowing
small.
the past will it's like we learn about the planet when we learn about these archaeology sites. We know the
Yeah,
past. It will give
yeah,
us maybe it will give us more information on what's happening in the universe, not only on planet Earth. So this thing might be in one of the other planets. So if you go to another planet, you might see some archaeology sites as well. I
So
don't know if you call it archaeology site, but you're gonna see stuff like that.
yeah, so the wonders, the mystery, the cosmology is still somehow connected to aliens, right? Because the pyramids, aliens, space, aliens, right?
Correct.
So
Yeah, don't ask me why, man. I like those things, man.
where do you
I don't
feel you're
like.
going next?
Good question. I don't know.
I would say of going with the theme of 2020, you will go like the human biology.
Yeah, viruses and stuff. And
Yeah. It's
so
been a
I
tough
basically,
year, right? Is it a tough year also in LA? Is it difficult?
yes,
Lockdowns and
yes, it is. It's everywhere the same thing, and
yeah,
especially when they say about lockdown. I have friends in France. I have friends in England. They always say, "Oh, we're on lockdown." At the same time, like they say over here, they say in Lebanon.
yeah.
It's weird how this virus comes up. At the same time everywhere in the world. It's not about a country or another. It's weird. I don't
Yeah,
understand it, to be honest.
it's expanding. Let's hope. I hope. I have actually hopes for the next few months. The vaccines are ready and some things will be deployed and things I assume will get better in the next few months.
Hopefully.
So we remain positive on that. I wanted to ask you, like, along all that trip, you had also a single, right? The High Expectations,
Correct.
or that was independent, right? Not connected to the albums and the theme,
No,
or
just a single I worked
yeah,
on during the pandemic, and yeah, I had a chance to go and film it, do like a nice, easygoing music video. That people, I think they liked it, and That's nice. You know, I just worked on it here in my home studio, nothing too fancy, and it was just trying to give some motivation to the world that, you know, you need to keep your high expectations because things are coming back.
So it is a positive message, right?
It
Again,
is. It
yeah.
is.
So we remain hopeful for the next few months, and
Yes.
much more helpful for next year, I assume.
Next year can be great.
So you moved, you got used to living in LA, you started producing music, you started writing first, and then you worked on the album, you released it, and now recently also the single. You've been playing live in some venues and some events, maybe not now, but during those years, right? In LA.
Yeah, correct.
Do you feel any difference, like from the people attending, the way they interact with your music from when you used to play in Lebanon?
Yes, because people, I think over here, everyone who listens to my music, they'll say the same thing. They'll be like, okay, you're different. The music is different that you compose. Because over here, you know, they have their guitar heroes, which is Eddie Van Halen. They have
May he rest in peace.
Joe Satriani, Steve Vai, and those guys. Um, they all kind of sound, you know, American rock kind of thingy, plus, 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 plus. But yeah, the reaction that I get from Americans here in the United States, it's that they tell me that you're unique and we never heard this kind of music and in guitar instrumental work, which is yeah, I like it. I mean, that's what I'm trying to be, you know, trying to be myself. And when you be yourself, you become unique, you know, in many ways. I'm not trying to copy any guitar player or guitar hero.
Yeah.
And they're digging it, you know, like underground music is big here in the US because of the population, of course. There's a lot of people that they love this kind of music, but you don't see them on the mainstream media or something. But yeah, people still go to bars to listen to new bands, to new sound. They want to hear something new.
So you would say that the promotion is similar to what we used to do in Lebanon, like digitally, like there's an event in a pub, they would put it somewhere on Facebook, and there's no like a radio show that would say, hey, go down to this pub tonight, Alan Azar is playing there, or something like that.
You know, it's music business is music business. It's the same everywhere.
Yeah.
The difference between here and Lebanon is that in Lebanon, this music is not every day. You don't see it every day, and we used to have our own community over there, you know.
Yeah.
And so if a band performing, everybody would like to go and see because you don't see this kind of music. You don't see it much. Here you see it every day, you know. For the music industry, Alan Azar is like Joe Satriani. There's no difference, you know. They want to know how much money you're gonna bring to the venue at the end of the night. Yeah. So it's sad because there's a lot of musicians, you know, they're very artistically good, but they're not popular and they don't have a chance like the other people that they've been in the business since the 80s.
So I maybe misunderstood that or don't know it well, but you usually would need a manager to manage your music or manage your business in LA. Could you, do you have at the moment someone who tries to promote your music to, you know, get you signed on some deals or no?
No, there's no such thing anymore. You know, the world is changing.
Yeah.
You know, it started over here. I don't know if it's like this in Lebanon or other countries, but over here you have yourself kind of independent label. You know, you have to lead yourself. You have to manage yourself. You have to produce yourself. And especially now with this virtual world that we live in, you know, if you're famous on YouTube, I mean, you're famous in real life, you know. So YouTube is like real life right now. Because when I went to the NAMM show a couple of years ago, you see companies, their labels or you know, they're promoting artists. You see that they're still promoting the artists in the 80s and 90s. They're still promoting the same guys, and the only new people that they're promoting are YouTubers.
Okay.
So YouTube is a big thing now, and it's not something I like. I'm not a YouTuber, and I don't like to do it.
You did mention that. So if everyone is moving to YouTube and like you feel, oh, I'm the only one left here. So at some point you'll feel some peer pressure, right? Like everybody's doing it. Should I do it? Do you think you'll get to that point?
I think about it every day, you know, if I do it or I don't. I don't like to do it. I'm not a YouTuber, like I said.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone is doing it. And, you know, it's becoming different. If I post a song right now that I worked on for like a couple of months without filming it, nobody will care for it, you know? You post a song with a picture, everyone will skip it, you know? Nowadays, people holding their phones, they're not even sitting on a computer with speakers or, you know, a good PA system. They're just flipping on their phone. If they see a song, they don't have time to listen to 4-minute song. They just want to skip, you know? Unless there's a video for it, so people want to see something.
Yeah.
And also statistics showed that people skip videos if they're long because people that don't have time, they want to see other things. This is why nowadays on Instagram or Facebook, all you see is short clips for like 10 seconds, 15 seconds of a guy just shredding a guitar, doing some crazy stuff. And
after 10 takes, right? He does 20 takes and then posts 20 seconds of the best one.
And then he posted there, and then he gets a lot of views, a lot of likes. People, oh, you're awesome. So technically, this thing is changing the culture of music in the world. You know, there's no more compositions. There's no more enjoying music. It's all about technical stuff. And I feel like Facebook and YouTube is like forcing me to be this kind of person, you know, like post this kind of thing so you get views and you get likes. But for me, it's not. I'm a musician. I want to compose a song, a full-on song where people can enjoy while driving, while listening before they sleep, or I don't know, where we're running, walking. This is who I am as a musician, but the world is changing and the culture is changing. People want to see, they don't want to hear, they want to see things. This is why now, like, women guitar players are very popular on on Instagram. You know, you see a lot of videos of that, you know. Just a girl holding a guitar, that's it, she's gonna get all these views and attention.
Because it's different, right? It's not common. Like it's a bit uncommon to have a girl playing metal or whatever, right?
Exactly. She's gonna get tons of viewers and likes. But not to mention, there's a lot of great women guitar players. They're great.
I agree. Of course, there is a lot of very talented musicians on big albums, women playing guitar.
What I'm trying to say is that the culture is changing. It's not about composing a 4-minute song anymore. It's about short clips.
Yeah. So you have that aspect of getting the attention, right? There's a woman playing, but there's the other aspect of being goofy. I don't know if you've seen those YouTube channels, like someone like Stevie T. Have you heard of a guy called Stevie T?
I love this guy.
But I wanted to know if you know the guy. Yeah.
I know the guy very well. I met him and all that also.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, he's such a great guy, you know. I love him, great guitar player, but he knows it. Those guys, they know what they're doing. They know if they don't act goofy and if they don't make you laugh, nobody's gonna listen to your music or your guitar playing. They know it, and they stick in it.
Okay, so either I'm not meaning you, but I mean the person who wants to make music has to either play goofy or go transgender.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know the band the Steel Panther?
Yeah.
So I opened for this band 2 years ago at the Roxy Theater in Hollywood. Those guys are great musicians, and I know them very well personally. They're great guys, and they are teachers. They teach music in universities and stuff. If you see these guys in a random day, you'll see them, you know, wearing a shirt with a button and everything. He looks just like a normal person.
Yeah.
And then when they go on stage, they just flip to this show. They wanna create a show. They want to make people laugh and throw crazy stuff on stage, so people so they have an interesting show. It's not about the music anymore, even though they're great musicians. But when you go to their show, you hear, like, let's say 20 minutes of music and then 40 minutes of talking. It's like a theater. It's like a show. People, they go just to laugh. It's a comedy show, you know. And they play American rock. So imagine this band is going playing this American rock songs perfectly, without any show or any you know, funky acting on stage. And so people there, they won't be interested, you know. So this is like you're saying, acting goofy nowadays will grab people's attention. Give girls some guitars, gonna grab their attention. Whatever.
Okay, so these
But
are,
that's
yeah.
scary because it's changing the culture. That's what I'm trying to say.
So do you have like a third option that you could work on? Like, okay, people are watching girls because it's not that common, and goofy guys because they're funny. I am a serious musician. I have serious music, good quality, well worked on, big effort to make those tracks.
Yeah.
How do I reach an audience with this transition? Like, you cannot sign a deal and produce albums and sell them on discs anymore. Spotify is not in any way a way to, fund yourself forward, is it? For example?
Spotify.
Yeah. And you cannot reach an audience much with it, do you?
It's Spotify is becoming like Facebook. Like if you have 1 million viewers and just you post the song in there, it's not gonna reach this 1 million unless you pay money for it.
Okay.
This is the whole system in the world on YouTube.
So algorithm control.
It's an algorithm control, and everything is pay to play. So it's becoming. This is why labels they pay a lot of money for their single or something, so it will go viral or get a lot of hits. But for me, I'm still doing the music that I like to do. This is first because I know there's people like you that they can enjoy this music, and I'm doing this music for them. It's either I'm gonna, like you said, I'm not gonna change myself to become a different artist so I can please other people. And I don't like to do the short clips. So I'm keep on doing it because I believe there's people like you that they really enjoy this music, and I will end up doing what I like to do.
Okay. Yeah, so there's of course a lot of people that prefer not to watch the 5 minutes, 2 minutes video, but rather enjoy a complete album and go through that experience. And I would say there's a lot of us who grew up on that, so that we kind of used to having this big emotional trip. Or I listen to music while working sometimes, and I'll be like writing a file or drawing something or whatever I'm doing, but I'm like headbanging with the album at the same time. And it feels like I need that to do my work. And if it's a 2-minute thing, it's like I'm gonna keep searching for another 2-minute thing. I need this trip, this complete trip,
Exactly. This is what we all like. Yeah, this is how I like it too. I like to listen to music to. I like to see what the composer is trying to, what direction he's trying to send you, and, what is he trying to, what message is throwing in his music. Yeah, there's people like me and you, our listeners, they like to listen to this kind of music. This is why I'm keep on doing it.
So, but we cannot predict what the new generation, how they will behave, how they will acquire musical culture, right? So we acquired this. We acquired this. Starting was like the discs, maybe, and then maybe the tapes, and some VHS, and then the DVDs. So it wasn't like quick consumption. We couldn't just click and get the album, and we just buy a tape, and we keep listening till it doesn't run anymore. Correct. And now is everything for the new generation is totally different to that, right? So they access the track the moment they want, and
they have everything. They have everything in their hands. In a second they can listen to any music they want to listen to. This is first. Second, there's no value anymore for the music that we used to feel. Like you were saying, we used to play the song over and over. This has, because it was hard to get. When you have something hard to get, it has more value in life.
Yeah.
When you just easy, you can get it easily. There's no value for it anymore. Especially with this, like I said, they're changing the tradition of music with the social media. That you need to watch 20 seconds of a song and just flip. For them, maybe this is music. It become music.
Yeah.
It's hard to introduce them to good music and make them relax and sit and listen. It's very hard. It's very hard. But I think it will remain because people like me and you, if one day we're gonna have kids, maybe we're gonna just teach them what real music is all about. It's gonna be kind of like a generation kind of thing.
So I would say it's still kind of uncertain how things will evolve, right? But at least what we see now is this kind of short time consumption and attention grabbing. So for what it is now, it seems like it's gonna a bit destroy, the approach to and the valuation for music and the effort behind making music. But I would say at the moment we are in the transition phase where it's not yet clear how people will consume music, and I'm saying also good quality music. And maybe this year has made this a bit more difficult. There's no concerts. Like I used to go to concerts and watch the bands live. Nobody's going live anywhere now, and they are, even bands are doing online streaming, you know. And sometimes they just play one track, like, hey, today we're making 5 minutes streaming of our new single, we're gonna play it live, and that's all you get.
That's it.
Yeah. So to ask you on this, like, what are you planning for the next year? Like, this year is almost over. What are your plans? What's coming next from Alan?
I'm hoping next year will everything will reopen, especially venues and concerts venues, because I want to try to perform again, because this is where the passion is, like I said, and I think this is what people want to see too, you know. They don't want to stick on the computer watching YouTube videos. So I'm hoping for that. Other than that, you know, I just want everyone to be healthy and just finish with this virus thing, you know.
Yeah.
So everyone won't be scared to see you and hug you. You know, I miss the people.
We're all like separated.
We all miss the people. We're just like online with people, you know, calling on the phone for hours and just watching computer stuff. Even though I'm working on a lot of music actually right now, that's coming up soon. You know, I have a couple of tracks I'm working on.
So this is giving you more time to work on tracks, right? Maybe this kind of a lockdown.
Yeah, I'm working on a metal song now, and it's 10 minutes metal song. It's called Metal Odyssey.
We'd like to hear it as soon as maybe a feature, you know. We feature it the first channel to feature that.
Yeah, it's coming out. It's funny. It sounds like an album. It's a long track. I don't know. I still don't know how I'm gonna release it. Either I'm gonna just cut it in parts, or I'm just gonna release it the way it is.
10 minutes is not that long, if you consider it a progressive track.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's metal riffs. A lot of energy, a lot of changes in it. It doesn't have like parts like a song. It's just a long metal Odyssey song. Yeah, I'm still thinking I'm gonna release it either part by part or the way it is. We'll see. And and I'm working on another song right now. Actually, it's almost finished. It's a beautiful song. We'll see how it goes.
Okay, so we'll be expecting maybe a single release next. Right, that will be probably the next. I hope we'll be back all for the live stages and the live concerts soon. Right, so I'm also like missing a lot of live concerts. I hope this will be possible very soon. We've almost reached the end of our time on this talk. I wanted to know if you have like a message for the people listening to you, to the people who like your music, who expect new music from you, who want to know what are you doing. What are you planning, and what message you have for them?
Well, it's I would like to say that if you like music and to just not a commercial, 20 seconds skippable music, feel free to check my music on. I have go on my website, alanazar.net. And you can see all the links for Spotify and all the music platform links. You can see them all in there. Check them out. I have a lot of videos. Subscribe to my channel. You know, I'm trying to be more active on my YouTube channel. Just enjoy the music, and I would like to, be in contact with people, with fans. You know, let me know what you think about the music. What should I do next? If you like the song, which track is the best? You know, I like the people to be more involved in what I do, and keep the word very artistic, I'm gonna say.
Okay. So from our perspective, what we are doing now is we're trying to put you more in contact with those people. So with this talk, they get to know more who you are, what you do, what are you trying to achieve, and they can still communicate with you. They can leave a comment, leave a feedback. Maybe we'll have another talk at some other time, maybe in a year or less, and talk about the new single, right, or the next album. And you will hear more from the fans, right, from the people following up. And
correct.
And I hope I assume they will be really happy with this coming single, right? Everyone is always waiting for new music from someone that they enjoy the music that he produces. So I personally enjoy the music you make, and I'm always waiting to hear something new. And I've been listening to the albums a lot. I think I listened about 20 times to the latest album so far in the last months, so more than before even. So I really enjoy your albums. I'm really glad that you are producing and still working on new music, new stuff. I really wish you all the luck. At the end, I definitely would like to thank everyone who's watching. I have one last thing to mention here. We do not produce music ourselves. We do not produce CDs or anything on Spotify. But as LebMetal, as we're trying to promote music, we have those special shirts. They are featured on Amazon.com and Amazon.de. So you can see 3 designs. One is just the LebMetal logo. The middle one is kind of a death metal style. Lebanon. It says Lebanon actually, but those are logos you are never able to read anyway. And the first one you see on the left side is the Saura, it's the revolution. So this is the metal revolution style shirt. If you're interested, you can find those shirts on our website, lebmetal.com. Alan, at the end, I'd like to thank you for this. Thank you for your time. I'm really glad you had this conversation with me. I'm happy that you are still moving forward and hope to hear again from you soon. Okay? So have a nice time. Stay safe.
Yes. And thank you for reaching out, and thank you for LebMetal. You know, they've always been supportive to me. Thank you, guys.
Always welcome, Alan. Goodbye.
Rock and